Hey everyone, hope you're having a good week. This is going to be my week 6 NFL predictions. I don't even think I did week 5 last week, but definitely want to get back on track and go into week 6 with a good week. I've been having a lot of good weeks lately. Most of my weeks are hovering around 10-6 against the spread. I had one week that was, I think, 9-7 and or 9-5-1, and another one that was 7-8 or 7-9-1, which was the one bad week I had, something like that. But overall, I've been very, very good. I have about a 55 to 56% against the spread this year so far, and looking to continue that trend. But just getting right into it, you got the Broncos versus the Chiefs tonight in about 1 hour. The Broncos right now are underdogs by about 10.5. It is in Denver. The weather is not going to be good. It's supposed to be windy. It's supposed to be rainy, storms going in and out. And the Chiefs, to be honest with you, don't cover the spread a lot historically. Now, I know they've been covering the spread recently in some cases, but they don't cover the spread historically. So I'm going to pick the Broncos plus 10.5, and I'm going to take them. I know that they're a mess of a franchise. I know they're literally one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league. But this is more about the Chiefs. They're going to win the game, but with the weather, with them not covering the spread historically a lot, I do believe that the Chiefs are, for whatever reason, going to keep it close, or the Broncos are going to keep it close based on that. But the Chiefs will win by probably 9. I don't think it's ever going to be in doubt, but it's just going to be a close game. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to go under 47.5, which is where Vegas has the spread right now for the over/under. Ravens versus Titans. I don't believe in the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback. He's definitely in the top 10, but they're a little bit fraudulent. And the Titans, we don't know if they're really good or like really bad. I don't know if they're somewhere in between. But I do believe with Derrick Henry. I do believe with the weapons that they have on offense, and I believe Ryan Tannehill is a decent enough quarterback that they actually can cover the 4 spread. I actually think they might even win this game at home. I don't think the Ravens are as good as people think they are, and I do. And based on their play, when they play against good defenses, they don't play very well, and the Steelers definitely aren't known for their offense. So I don't think that. I think the Titans are going to win, and that division is going to be very interesting. You got the Commanders versus the Falcons. The Commanders are a mess. If Sam Howell plays well, great. They have a great offensive coordinator, but I'm not going to bet on Sam Howell. I'm going to bet on the Falcons. The Falcons have a better roster. -2.5 is easy. They're home as well. Vikings versus Bears. The Vikings don't have Justin Jefferson, which I think is a big deal, and I think Justin Fields is going to have a good game against that Vikings defense. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think the Bears are going to win. They are the underdog by 3, so I'm taking the Bears plus 3 because of that. Also, the Bears offense just seems to be kind of similar to the Jets offense in the way that they're allowing their quarterback to just be who they are and make mistakes and not try to put them in a box. And I think that's really important. They're going to make mistakes, both Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. They're young. They don't have the best decision making, but when you allow them to do what they do, they're better than if you keep them in this box and you try to make them a game manager. And you're just going to have to go with the kind of like the coin flip of, is it going to be a great throw or is it going to be a really bad throw? And also it allows them to run and lets them be more comfortable. So I think the Bears will continue that trend, and it'll be a shootout, like 34-28, and they'll win the game. Bengals versus Seahawks. I got the Bengals -2.5. I think Joe Burrow is finally healthy. I think he's playing well. I think Jamar Chase is unbelievable. I think the Seahawks are a very good team, don't get me wrong. But if I consider the Bengals as good of a team as they were last year, it's just Joe Burrow has been injured, then even with the Seahawks being as good as they are, they're not as good as the Bengals. And that is what I'm going to take. I'm going to look at the history of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and how they've played, and look at last game as the indicator that they're back, and really take them to win this game at -2.5. Again, the Seahawks could very well win it if last night was an aberration, last week was an aberration. But I think this will be a fun game to watch, and the Bengals will win. Browns versus 49ers. The 49ers are winning this game. They have the best roster in the NFL, no doubt in my mind. There's no team that legitimately has beaten them yet. Well, no one's beaten them, and also no one has stopped what they've been trying to do. No one has even shown that they can get close to stopping what they're trying to do. I do think the Browns will get close, and I'm going to take the +9.5. I think it's going to be a touchdown. which wins the game from the 49ers. It'll be by 7. But I think that it's just the 49ers are better. Maybe the Browns get like a garbage time touchdown to get it within 7. That's probably the most likely thing. I don't think it's ever in doubt, but I think the 9.5 is a lot, especially in Cleveland. And I think Cleveland does have a good amount of weapons, and they do have a lot of firepower to, keep pace. But it really depends on the 49ers defense, which is unbelievable to see if they can hold down the Browns. If they can and they blow them out again, then it's already clear that the 49ers are the best team. That's even more clear that the 49ers are the best team in the NFL if they do that. Panthers versus Dolphins. Dolphins are minus 13.5. You all know that if you've watched these videos, I don't love the huge spreads, but the Dolphins just have too much firepower. And I think they're just going to be able to run over them in Miami. I think it's going to be by 21 points that they win. And the Dolphins are just a better team, and they can score in bunches, and they're raring to score in bunches. Jaguars versus Colts. Colts lost Anthony Richardson. Yes, Gardner Minshew is probably a starter in this league, to be honest with you. If a lower end starter, a bottom feeder per se, but still, he's a good quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback. He's the best backup that you can have. And even with that, though, the Jaguars, I think, are back on track after last week's win against the Bills. I know a lot of people are saying that it's because the Bills had jet lag and the Jaguars didn't, but even so, the Jaguars are a good team. I think they beat the Colts. They had one really bad loss and one okay loss. I think they're just a better team overall, and I think the Prince, as they call him, is good enough to get the win. Saints versus Texans. I got the Saints minus 1.5. I don't believe in the Texans. I believe C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback, but I don't believe that he's good enough. I know he played well, but he had like a 53% completion percentage, I think, last week. I think Derek Carr is just a solid veteran. I think they have a lot of good weapons. I think Kamara is back, and Michael Thomas is there, and you got a lot of good. You got Chris Olave. There's just too many weapons on the Saints side to not win this game. I take them minus 1.5. Patriots versus Raiders. As much as it pains me, I have the Patriots winning this game. I don't think the Raiders are a good enough team. I know they have Devontae Adams, and they have Jimmy G and all that good stuff. But I think the Patriots defense is good enough to stop the Raiders offense. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. I think Mac Jones will be decent, and he'll show that he can be a decent quarterback again because they'll let him do what he's good at, which is manage the game rather than try to, unlike Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, try to push them to do what they do, which is throw and run the ball really well and be that outlier. Mac Jones is just a game manager. Just let him game manage, and you'll run the ball and you'll win. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be boring. I'm not going to want to watch this game, but I think the Patriots win. I hope they lose, but I think they win. Rams minus 7 versus the Cardinals. I think the Rams will get back on track. I think they need a win. Matt Stafford is a veteran quarterback. When you need a win, a veteran quarterback is where you want to go, especially a winner, and he's a proven winner. I think the Rams, with Sean McVay, will be able to beat a team that is worse than them easily, and I think they'll win by more than 7 because of it. Dobbs has played very well. I can't say otherwise. The Cardinals are a scrappy team. I think it will be a close game, but I think the most likely actually scenario is that it's a push, but I would rather I think there's more of a likelihood that the Rams win by more than 7 than win by less than 7 or lose. So that's why I'm taking that. Lions versus Buccaneers. The Buccaneers is what I would like to call a solid team that a lot of people are thinking are better than they are. The Lions are very good. They're just a very good team. They're nowhere close to the 49ers yet, but they're very, very good, and I can see them sneaking into the NFC Championship game. Buccaneers, I don't see that yet. I think Baker is better than average. I'll give him that, and I think he's shown that he's better than average, which is actually a step in the right direction for him. I don't think the Lions. I just think Jared Goff has shown that he's a good quarterback. And I think with the weapons they have, and the Puka Nacua, the wide receiver, and Cooper Kupp coming back, and all that good stuff, I think they're getting back to their form. And I think the Rams are. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I know that's a wild thing to say. They're 2-3, I believe, but I think they're gonna get back on track and they'll win the playoffs. And Sean McVay will get that defense under control. What's next? Oh, Bills and Giants. I got the Bills minus 14.5. Everyone is injured on the Giants. Every single person. Every single person on the offense is injured. It's crazy. Daniel Jones isn't even playing. That even might be a good thing. But the Bills are coming out for revenge after their loss to the Jaguars. They're just gonna blow them out of the water. The 14.5, you take it. Cowboys versus Chargers. I'm gonna surprise some people. I'm picking the Chargers plus 2. I actually think the Chargers are gonna win. The Cowboys have played one good offense this year. Now, it was the best offense. I think it's better than the Miami Dolphins, to be honest with you. I think Miami's second. So the best offense in the 49ers. So they got blown out. But, like, I'm going to take that. I think the Chargers are not as good as the 49ers offense, obviously, but they do have a lot of weapons. They are top 10 offense, in my opinion, in the league. And I think the Chargers are going to win. I think the Cowboys defense is good. Don't get me wrong. And I think they're going to hold them to 21 points. But can the Cowboys offense score enough? Yeah, they scored enough against the Jets defense because the Jets offense couldn't stay on the field. They scored enough against the Giants because the Giants defense sucks. They scored enough against, I can't even, was it the Cardinals? I don't even remember, but it was a bad defense. They haven't played a solid team, like just a solid team. They played really good team, and they played really bad teams. They haven't really played like a solid team. And the Jets at that point was not a solid team. I don't even know if they're a solid team yet. So I think the Chargers win, and I think the Cowboys defense plays well. But I don't think Dak does what he needs to do. That's just, he's been very inconsistent. He said he was going to they were going to fix the interceptions. They haven't. He has 5. I know 3 in one game, but he has 5. So, like, yeah. And then I'm going to save the best for last, in my opinion. Obviously, it's the Jets game. It's the Eagles versus the Jets. I'm not a delusional Jets fan. They're not winning this game. If they do, I will be so happy. We'll be 3-3 going into the bye. That is more than I could ask for, especially with Zach Wilson as our quarterback coming into the season. But I do believe, and I don't think this is a delusional take, I do believe with the defense the Jets have, and with the way the offense has been looking in the last 2 weeks where they have been serviceable, I think they'll give the Eagles a harder time than people think. I think it'll be close. We gave the Chiefs a hard time, which I know they haven't been the same, but we've given the Chiefs a hard time. We beat Denver, and we should have beat them by 4 touchdowns, but we beat Denver pretty badly. Those last 2 games, I think, are where the Jets actually are as a team, and I think that we can continue to do that against the Eagles. If we don't, then those 2 games don't matter. But I think this game is going to be like 24-20. Like, I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles will win. But I think it'll be close, and I think the Jets are going to pull my hair out because it'll be so close that they'll fuck up at the end and then lose it. But, yeah, that's where I have it. That's my predictions this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you so much again for listening. Please comment and subscribe and like below. Thanks.